Hello and welcome back to Life in Recovery. So as it's the beginning of June now, it's well timed for me to film my May in Review video. So you will have noticed that I missed the April 2017 in Review video, and that was because I was really unwell in the latter part of April and the beginning of May. So by the time I felt well enough to film an in-review video, it was so far into May I thought I'll just have to wait until this video. So this is going to be purely about May. I'm ignoring April ever existed. As in previous videos, this is going to be limited to the 5 categories that I've already established. And the first one is word or quote of the month. And this is another quote. You know by now that I love my quotes. And this one is feel the fear and do it anyway. So the reason I particularly love this quote and feel it's appropriate for May is because I'm now at university. I've just finished my first year, and any student will know that May is a particularly stress-filled, anxiety-filled, fearful month, or it can be, if you have exams. So exams in England normally fall in May. And so May has now become a very different kind of month for me. So I feel it's appropriate in that sense. But also I think feel the fear and do it anyway is one of my life mottos, one of my mantras. People who know me personally will know that I often say it, I often talk about it. And it's something I really believe in, and that's because when you feel the fear, you recognise, you're self-aware enough, you have self-knowledge that you are afraid of something. You allow yourself to feel that emotion. You're not suppressing it, you're not ignoring it, you're not denying its existence. So you're allowing yourself to feel that fear, sitting with it, and then doing the thing that you're afraid of, or doing the thing that's stressing you out. And I think that's one of the most mature, congruent, integrated ways to live your life. You are acknowledging that you're scared of something. That takes a lot. But you're having the bravery and the strength to do that thing that you're scared of. And I think we all get scared of things. We all are trepidatious about things. Exams aside, you know, on a daily or weekly, monthly basis, there are things that worry us, and that you feel like you want to run away from, or you wish that you could stay in bed and just pull the covers up and, you know, ignore, and you just want to go away. And when you allow yourself to feel that fear and that desire to disappear, but you decide to confront it and do the thing that you're scared of, I think that's so powerful. So my quote of the month is feel the fear and do it anyway. So the second category is the healthy meal or food. And I think last time in March, my March in Review video, I had a supplement regime that was my healthy meal or food. And I know a few of you have said you would like me to do a video on that regime, and I am getting to it. I just wanted to film this video and put it up as soon as I could. That will be coming shortly. So again, on a similar track, it's not actually a meal or a food that I feel is the healthiest thing this month. It's staying hydrated. Now, I've talked about this before in a previous video, quite an old one, where I did a very long video about mood boosting and body boosting foods and practices, and one of those was drinking water regularly. So dehydration not only has a really bad impact on your physical well-being, but also your mental well-being as well, and things like concentration really dip. Your concentration goes off when you're dehydrated, and I think the weather at the moment is getting better and better. It's, you know, we're getting into proper summer now here in England, and you know, one of the most important things to do is to keep drinking water. The other thing that I've been doing this month, despite the end of exam celebrations that did occur naturally, I haven't drunk too much alcohol, because I think that really can exacerbate you know, difficulties and cause problems. I do enjoy a glass of wine or a beer or a cider, or you name it, enjoy it, but it's not, you know, necessary to have a good time. So drinking in moderation, if at all, and also drinking plenty of water has been an essential this month. And obviously, as the sun gets stronger and we have, you know, clear days and sunny days, wearing this sun cream and SPF is super important too, just as a side note. And that moves us on to the third category, which is lesson of the month. So this one is a little bit more of a difficult one to explain in a nutshell, as is always the case with these videos. It's always one where I rabbit on, so I'm going to try and keep it short and fairly sweet. So the lesson of May 2017 was not particularly a new one, but one that was kind of reinforced a few times for various reasons. So I think if you're a giver, so if you give out a lot of your time and your help and support other people constantly, it can sometimes have an impact on you. But when you need help, so when you need to receive help, and the people closest to you or certain people in your life who you may need that from, like your friends and your family, if they don't respond or aren't able to provide that help, it can leave you feeling a little bit alone, or leave you feeling frustrated or disappointed or upset. And I know that I'm a giver. I know that, and so many people are, that if somebody asks me for help, even if it's not convenient, even if I'm stressed about something else or not feeling well, I will pretty much always provide that help, or try and provide that help and support. Now, I know that about myself. I know that can be detrimental to me, but it is part of me. Another thing that's part of me, and that's part of so many other people, is that I struggle to ask for help. And when I do, and I rarely do, but when I do, it means I really do need that help. And I think this month there were a few occasions where I just needed a little bit of practical help, purely practical. There were no emotional traumas or troubles that I was kind of constantly asking for support with, luckily. But I think when you have finally recognised, oh, I maybe need a little bit of help on this, I'm going to ask people, can you help me? And that request isn't maybe heard, or it's heard and acknowledged, but nothing happens from that, and that happens time and time again. It can I'm trying to find the words. It can erode your confidence or your well, you can feel quite bad about a number of things stemming from that. And I think the good thing was this month, when that did happen, I usually did say, or later on I did say, I needed you, and you weren't there for me. And I think that takes quite a lot for me, and I think it would take quite a lot for anybody who's a similar kind of person. When you struggle to ask for help, when you don't like asking because you feel it shows weakness, and you're not a fan of showing weakness, although it's not even a weakness, then when you finally say, I need some help, and that's not, you feel that's not respected, even if it maybe is by the other person, they just aren't willing or able to provide that help, then being able to say to that person or those people, actually, that hurt me that you weren't there for me, is a great thing. Because not only does it allow you to not box that hurt and that resentment up that you may feel, it allows you to dissipate, and you're letting that out. But also it can help the other person. So if the other person is more of a taker, less of a giver, then they learn that maybe that kind of behaviour isn't as acceptable. So it not only allows you to grow, but also the other person. So that's been the lesson of this month, is that yes, of course it's okay to ask for help. Like, it's not a weakness. You shouldn't be ashamed of asking for help. In fact, I should probably ask for help more. But also, not everyone is going to be able to or willing to help you, no matter how small the help that is needed. And it's okay to say to somebody, I needed you and you weren't there for me. It's okay. In fact, it can help your relationship grow, and you're getting what you need from that relationship. Or you just know you don't ask that person for help in the future and you go to somebody else. Not everybody is going to be everything to you. So that's the lesson of the month. The healthy thing to do from this month has been actually taking time out. So, as previously mentioned, May was exam month for me, but despite that, and despite the incredible amount of work that needed to be done to prepare and then take the exams that I had, I did set aside time to go for a walk, to have a meal with my friends, to see my family, to do a bit of exercise, to do anything other than revising or thinking about exams. I made sure that I had something planned in. And I think that's another thing that I've learned, is having a very, very long gap in my education. This year, this academic year, has been a real learning curve, very steep learning curve for me. How do I revise? How do I cope with the stress of exams? How do I remember everything that I need to and get it down? How do I balance my health and my social life and my studies? How? So I think for me the answer has been having a schedule for revision, and I think for so many other people that's really the goal. The vital thing to do is being able to see this mountain, this insurmountable amount of work that you can feel very overwhelmed by, and then just take it step by step, chunk by chunk. Think, what do I need to know for this exam? And then you plan it out. And also, while you're planning that out, you plan in breaks. So half a day or a whole day or just an evening, you know, I would treat it as my job. So I would not really try and work or study after 5 or 6 p.m. And I would try and have a full day off a week. And that really meant that I could stay sane and happy and feel, you know, like a human being throughout the process. And I am very proud actually of how I coped with the exams, and you know, my strategy did work, and despite being ill for the first couple of weeks of May over 2 exams, not being able to really revise at all, I still coped. I still managed to keep things in check and in balance. And yes, there were a couple of moments where I thought I'm not going to be able to even attend this exam. I still did, but the rest of them, it then didn't have a knock-on effect. I didn't allow it to affect me too much. So I think that's a massive piece of advice for anybody who is struggling, and that applies to anything really, whether you're working, you're studying, or you're working towards a goal. Is schedule map things out. It doesn't have to be rigid. You don't have to have things, you know, planned down to the last minute or hour or you know, day even, but have a broad overview of what you need to be doing to get to your end goal. And you'll be surprised how much calmer you feel about that end goal if that's something that you know, can cause some stress. So that was my healthy thing to do, was taking time out, having a schedule, and really breaking things down. And then finally, my goal for the next month, so it'll be June, and we are in June now, which is crazy. And really it kind of echoes that my one in March for April is to just regain balance again. So then this month has I have a lot of different things going on, not too much of a routine. Things are changing week by week, but something I do want to get a grip back on is my food and my exercise. So that went off a little bit due to a number of things, but really getting that reined back in. So exercising regularly and making sure that I'm eating the right things. And also I'd really like to tone up. It's getting towards kind of summer where you need to be wearing less clothes, and obviously trying to book in a holiday before second year starts, and I just want to feel a bit more comfortable. So that goes hand in hand with good food and plenty of exercise. So that is my May 2017 in review. I'd love to hear from you. What have you learnt? Anything that you would like to share, please do. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and do comment below. But until next time, bye bye.